So I got one more article that I want to discuss, and I like this one, even though this is an article from about 6 months ago. But I love this, and I'm going to start doing this on my YouTube because I had such a good time with you guys last night. I remembered what we did last night. We went through Youngblood #1. Remember that? That was great.
A triumph.
It was a triumph. We went through every page, every panel of Youngblood #1. I took a pen to it, and it was a blast.
And he had so much fun, he wants to do it again tonight with Wraith of God. We're going to go panel by panel, tear this apart.
Wraith of God 2, by the way. Wraith of God available now on Indiegogo. Mods put that link in the chat.
It's true.
No, this is the 5 worst comic book series ever. Just 5 terrible comic books, John. What do you think of that?
No, none of my heroes are going to be in there. Clearly,
here are 5 comic books that you can read if you feel like punishing yourself.
Oh my gosh! I drew the new Excalibur with Claremont.
No,
I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, but you didn't start it from #1.
Welcome to the club, Aaron.
Oh my god!
Oh, this is going to be great.
Suck.
Yes. All right, so we've got Youngblood, image, written and drawn by infamous 90s superstar Rob Liefeld. Youngblood was a superhero book devoid of joy, excitement, and talent. Wow. Product of the
Oh my
creator's
god, this is a hater, dude.
It is kind of a hater. I don't think it was devoid of joy at all. I had a great time reading it last night.
And Youngblood 1, at least, was written by Hank, Canals.
Canals.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we enjoyed it. Like, it was like a teenager wrote it. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about that, like
a retarded teenager wrote it. Yeah.
Well,
now it's time for combat.
Combat. Yeah. It was great. I like that Vogue showed up 5 hours late for the emergency call. That was my favorite thing. There was a Youngblood. There's a Youngblood emergency. Beep, beep, beep. And all the other characters get there on time. It shows you the time. And then Vogue saunters in 5 hours late. She's like, they can wait.
Yeah, well, that's true to life. I mean, women do that. You know,
it's just 5 hours. And by the way, they did wait for her. She's like, they're like, don't be late again. 5 hours. I think the 747 crashed into the building. Okay, I'm pretty sure you missed it. The hell, I mean, anyway, I had such a good time reading it, so I liked it. Product of the creator's penchant for extreme amoral butt kicking. Yes, I like that too. Gun wielding badasses with giant deformed muscles. I love that too. Youngblood may well be our ultimate punishment for buying X-Force when we were 8. One of the most immature comics in a medium full of immature train wrecks. Youngblood is like a 12-year-old boy's idea of what being cool is.
It was the book for 12-year-old kids. It kind of was.
Is that who he was marketing towards?
Remember when 12-year-olds actually bought comics?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean,
No.
I read it and just went, I like Chapel waking up next to some chick, and she's like, I want to keep sleeping. And he goes, no promises, leave your number, and kicks her out. And he goes, yeah, man, it's the perks of being... And then he comes out with ghastly, like, white paint, a skull on his face, and a gigantic gun at her. It was a great book, man. I had so much fun reading that again.
Yeah.
We should do Spawn #1.
Absolutely.
One of the most immature comics and a medium full of immature train wrecks. Youngblood is like a 12-year-old boy's idea of what being cool is. All the members are stone cold killers. That's awesome. And why not? Exploding chests are awesome. They're almost on par for the course these days, but then there's the sex. Oh, yes, there's sex. Lots of sex. Oh, there is.
Oh, this is a blood sport.
This is
written by Mark Miller. This is written by Mark Miller, what they're showing you.
Oh, I see.
Look at Superman.
Youngblood's idea of a classy sex scene here. All right, Chris Claremont's new Excalibur, drawn by Aaron Lepresti.
This is going to hurt.
Anyone who has followed comic books knows that Chris Claremont is an almost mythic figure. And that, by the way, let me just go back and complain. This isn't Youngblood. Like this was Mark Miller being hired to kind of make fun of Youngblood. Like, show actual Youngblood. This is kind of based and cool. Like, you blew it. Whoever wrote this, F you. Anyone who has followed comic books knows that Chris Claremont is an almost mythic figure in the canon of superheroes. The man is responsible for nearly 20 years of Uncanny X-Men's best stories. His contribution to the world of modern comic storytelling is unparalleled. Then he met Aaron Lopresti.
Oh.
All I did was go, Chris, I've got a few ideas. What do you think about this? I mean, I didn't know.
You corrupted Chris Claremont.
Oh, he blew it. Let me see. That was then. This is now. Today, the man can't stop turning out Drek to save his own life. The very low point of his career was when he revived the classic Excalibur title in 2005. The concept vaguely is that Excalibur is Britain's premier superhero team. Okay, great. A whole 40% of the team is even British. So you beat out the revival of Canada's resident team, Alpha Flight. The entire thing was just a disaster, though. The lowest point was when fans clamored to the book to see the Exiles' fan favorite character Nocturne join the team. With new readers ready and excited to see what this fun-loving lady is going to do on a new team, what's the first thing Chris Claremont has happen? She has a stroke.
Oh, this wasn't. Oh, thank God, this was not the series I worked on.
This isn't you.
Wow.
She isn't shot. She isn't beaten up. She just has a stroke. This is followed by months of physical therapy. Gosh, good story. Lots of fun. Glad we moved the character over to the new book. It was quickly canceled. Claremont took over Exiles himself before he was removed from that, too. It sounds like it sucks, man. I'm glad that you didn't do it. Whoa,
well, see, they did mention me right there, or Excalibur right there, where it says Extreme X-Men Excalibur. That's the one I worked on when he lived on Genosha.
Important story of Professor X and Magneto on Genosha, dealing regularly with the other teams. All right, that's cool. This is some beautiful Dave Finch art, I think.
Ooh, that's
yeah, I believe it is.
He's eating.
Holy shit!
Oh, that's gross.
Wow, dude.
Whoa.
Wow. Who is that?
It looks
Like the blob?
Yeah, it's the
I
blob.
think that is the blob.
But who's the girl he's eating?
Wasp. I think it's the wasp.
Looks like the wasp. Like her wings are there on the bottom, too.
Oh, yeah, I see him now.
But those are like bird wings.
Yeah, it's true.
Does right. He says tastes like chicken. Why would he do that?
That's gross.
Blob eats the wasp.
Oh.
It says
Oh, it
lovely.
says wasp, yeah.
And then here's Hank Pym eating the blob.
No.
How is
I
that
remember
not
that
awesome?
was
Wait,
Ultimatum.
and that means he's also eating his wife, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
like he hasn't done that before.
That's, by
Yeah.
That's really cool. Why is that terrible? That's really cool.
This is
It's
like
gross.
hilariously sick and awesome. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, Ultimatum. Jeff Loeb used to be a good writer. I think. Looking back, I may have just been duped by his collaboration with top-notch artists. Remember Jeff Loeb? What's he doing now?
TV.
He did some good
TV
comic
or
books.
animation?
Yeah, isn't he
Animation
doing a
guy now?
TV part for Marvel? Well, they're not doing much. I don't know.
Jeff
He was
Loeb's
like
like, I'm rich, biatch.
Yeah, like he was like an expert schmoozer. Like I knew, like Jeff Loeb, like he knew how to schmooze people.
I like
And,
Jeff.
I'm not
He's a
saying
good
he's a
guy.
bad guy. I'm saying that he
He
was an
schmoozed it.
expert schmoozer. Like he went where the successful people were, and he sort of insinuated himself to be a part of that. And then what he would do is he would work with, when he was in comics, he'd work with like the best artists, and then he'd just say, "What do you want me to write for you to draw?" And he'd keep them happy, like Ed McGuinness, Michael Turner. Like, what can I do for you? The man is a walking disaster, the worst defender from his huge crop of stinkers, which include Ultimates 3, Incredible Hulk, and Ultimate X, was a mega crossover event, Ultimatum. The entire thing is a childish foray into superhero murder and torture porn. This sounds great. It sounds like something that you're writing right now, Sean.
I like it.
Yeah. So, a book opens with most of New York City being murdered by Magneto, including large portions of the X-Men, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and other popular characters. I can handle character death, and maybe this would all have been okay, except for what comes next. As the villains begin to cut a path of destruction across the world, they begin to violently and graphically murder the other heroes. The Wasp is eaten alive by Blob. Oh, that's what we just saw. It's okay, though. Her abusive husband, Giant Man, gets his revenge by returning the favor and also eating the Blob alive. Comics are all grown up now. Entire thing is juvenile. I think it's fucking awesome. I don't know who this was marketed to. It's too violent for children, too stupid for adults. God only knows. The entire thing ends with Magneto killing Wolverine, Cyclops killing Magneto, and an assassin killing Cyclops, and the Thing killing Doctor Doom. Hope you didn't like any of these characters too much because it looks like the only people who survived were some random X-Men, Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four. That's all we need. That was the end result of 4 years of some of the worst writing in decades, and it shows. I want to read it now.
I know, this is crazy.
It's violent superhero stuff. I mean, this guy just wants it to be, why can't the Blob and Yellow Jacket be making out? Then it'd be a good book.
Yeah, he doesn't know who it's marketed to, but it's too violent for children and too stupid for adults. That's me.
Is that like an outside continuity thing or what?
I'm the market.
Here's another book called Tarot. This is number 2, Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose. Until this, oh my gosh,
that's my boy. That's Jim Ballard, man. Jim Ballard's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
that's his old book.
This is a character. Her vagina's haunted, Billy.
What?
Is it?
Well, hey man.
The book is about a haunted vagina. Samantha Brown, you have to get out of here. Your vagina is haunted.
Oh wow.
Until this last few months, I would say this is the worst comic ever created. Holy God, I don't even know what to say. I'll let this image speak for me. Your vagina is haunted.
Oh my gosh.
Is this Jim Ballant, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing it for like 15
Well, you know
years
what's
now.
another disturbance? Do you remember George Perez, his Crimson
Crimson
character?
Tide? Oh, Plague, yeah.
It was when she would be menstruating is when she would turn into a superhero or whatever it was, or a vigilante or something. If you check out that.
I don't see anything wrong with a haunted vagina. Is it Poltergeist? Like, that'd be cool.
Pussygeist.
Pussygeist.
Oh my gosh.
That can go with Elephant. Elephant versus Pussygeist.
All right.
Where
Work
do
it
you
out.
think the ghosts of Matacumba Key come out of?
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
Matacumba Key.
Which is only $10 away from 171,000, folks.
Yeah, buddy.
Great segue right there.
$10.
Get it.
Oh
Get
my gosh.
Buy him a cigar.
Your vagina is haunted. How does that work? If her vagina is haunted, where can she go so that it won't be haunted? Like, she needs the Ghostbusters. Yeah. That would be the shit. Who are you going to call?
Don't cross streams.
And the Ghostbusters show up, and they have their nuclear guns, but they have dildos on the end of them.
Oh, my God.
Ethan, did you just describe a porno or some sort?
Isn't that how Ghostbusters went? That's the version I saw.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
All right. The story behind this is that a girl had a vagina transplant. And the previous.
What?
This is Jim Ballant, really?
Oh my gosh.
All of this sounds great.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Let me see. The previous owner, 1/5 of a team of sexy undead nurses, is out to reclaim it. I don't know if the writer understands science, but vagina transplants are generally not things that happen.
Oh my god, that's so transphobic.
That's transphobic.
I
Yeah,
know,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, they do happen. This is an actual storyline. This happened. Everything about this comic book is gross and ugly and unpleasant. The over-sexualized main character makes Witchblade look like a Puritan novel. The storylines are, well, once again, just look above. Just awful all around. What makes Tarot, A Witch of the Black Rose, one of the worst comic books ever, however, is the utter lack of thought put into the most basic plot points. I disagree. You rarely see a comic so lazily constructed in your life. The protagonists are incompetent, the villains are dull, and everyone seems to live in a sexy fugue state, bumbling into one another and occasionally doing sex magic.
Yeah. And I'd like to add that Witchblade debuted in Cyblade She, 1995. Hello.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Comics.
Now, this is my favorite right here, The Rise of Arsenal. I gotta review this book on video because I was there at DC when this came out. And this is the worst fucking comic book. JT Krull, I don't know where he went. Like, he wrote this. This is a hilariously bad comic. It features a splash page of Batman kicking a one-armed Arsenal right in the jaw while saying, "I'm your friend." And I've used that as a meme so many times. Like, I'm your friend while he kicks him in the face. I'm like, I don't know. Congratulations. An ongoing series actually won, The Rise of Arsenal. 4-issue miniseries written by JT Krull. managed to become the worst comic book ever written before it even ended, spawning out of the already monumentally terrible Cry for Justice event. I remember that too. The Rise of Arsenal follows Roy Harper, the Green Arrow's former sidekick, as he recovers from the events that destroyed his life. His arm has been severed in a terrible battle, and his daughter Leon killed when super terrorist Prometheus blew up his hometown of Star City. Now the Green Arrow would have to go down and kill Prometheus for some reason. People have a problem with this. If I tracked down and shot Osama bin Laden in the head, I'd have a parade. But whatever. Cry for Justice is only in the top 20 worst comic books of all time. But we're talking about number one here. After coming out of a medically induced coma and finding himself mangled and his daughter dead, Roy lashes out at everyone around him as cruelly as possible. Black Canary, Batman, his successor is Green Arrow's sidekick Mia, the former Wonder Girl Donna Troy, and just about everyone he can get his mitts on. Okay, great. He's traumatized. People get mean when they're dealing with loss. Then he starts doing heroin again. God, this book is so great. Okay, then he physically attacks someone at his daughter's funeral. Right. This is already the most miserable comic book experience I've ever seen. This is fantastic. Then his daughter's supervillain mother shows up for a fight. She attacks him, and while the two fight, Roy's inner monologue states that she was the best lay of his life. As he beats the ever-living shit out of her, he glibly states that it's okay because she likes it rough. Take that, bereaved mother. He ties her up and attempts to have hate sex. The key word here is attempts because, it seems like he's lost more than his arm. A great storyline that can only be told in comics. Dude loses everything he loves, and now the real tragedy, his web shooter is out of fluid. So his penis doesn't work. Naturally, he proves he's still a man by heading out in the street and brutalizes some petty criminals. Awesome, I never thought I'd miss the comics code. To make everything better, he trips balls on heroin and imagines a dead, rotting stray cat is actually his still living daughter. This is true. So he carries around this decomposing cat and talks to it like it's his daughter. Your daughter is beautiful, Roy. The entire thing is a travesty. No one acts like a real human being. Heroin doesn't work that way. Every superhero is portrayed as a miserable, awful person, and it manages to grossly be offensive in just about every way possible. How could anyone write this? Why did I read it? I feel like we're both stupid. Anyway, Batman shows up and gives the old, I'm your friend, trust me, I'll help you get past this. But unlike most instances of this jolly old plot chestnut, Batman starts kicking the piss out of Arsenal during the middle of it. Yes, that's my favorite part. I'm your friend, trust me, and he kicks him in the face. Good show, Bats. I think you won him over. Could issue 4 get any worse? It's the only one issue left. Let's hope to hell it doesn't. It might create a black hole and suck out all the other comics on the shelf to the point of literary denseness. And then read good comics. Don't let the entire affair sour you too much on comics. There are still good comics out there,